Any questions? Comments? Okay, so just to make this even more complicated, no, this is just to make it more simple for you. We've put in a design process because we think that it's really difficult to know where you're at in one of these. If you're working through a challenge or a problem, where am I at right now? So we have 5 phases. We have the what is phase. That's the phase where you see who am I, what have I got, what are my resources. You've done that. So you've been through that phase. The next phase is the what if phase. This is where you look at what you've got and who you work with and what it is you'd like to do. So this is sort of an explosion of energy and ideas and working with all sorts of possibilities and not stopping yourself and saying, oh, that won't work. No, I shouldn't try that. Go out and try it. How do you know it doesn't work if you've not tried it? Why not have some crazy ideas and do some crazy stuff? And listen to the people around you. Listen to the people who are working with these technologies as well. The next phase that you would go into is the what wows phase, which is where you say, okay, I'm going to choose some of these things. I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try that. Don't limit yourself to one thing. Let it still be a little bit open and try a couple of things. Try them out. Try them out with other people. Get their reactions. And the final phase is, what is it that works? And when you get to the what works phase, you will be at the library. You'll be there saying, okay, now I'm trying this even with people I don't know. And I'm going to find out how they react to this. And if it fails with those people, then you learn something from that failure. So don't look at failure as failure. Failure is a way of learning. And that's something also we're taught at school, that failure is bad, failure is good, because that's where you learn. All right. So, up until this week you have prepared who you are, you've worked with your resources, and hopefully you have some idea of who it is you want to work with. And I'm going to call them your users. You're going to work with school kids, you're going to work with kids in the kindergarten, or you're going to work with young people, old people, people with handicaps. Who are you working with? Who are your users? Who are you interested in? Have you talked to them about the things that you work with? Have you talked to them about the way they learn? Have you talked to them about what they like to do? So you need to have a really good communication with your users. So this week, we call this week 43, but that's this week. You have been asked to focus on your challenge, or you're going to be asked to do that, and you're going to explain it to others. What's their understanding? Can you bring these other people on board? And can you get their knowledge to maybe change the way that you see or define your challenge?
Actually, that's a quite important thing. Because it's not only what's in your own head or in the group's heads, but when you start asking somebody else, what do you think about this? And suddenly you get, it's basically this, but I'm just saying it, suddenly you get some new ideas you didn't have in advance.
Okay, so this week is about identifying and qualifying. So what is it you want to work with? You've been told it's going to be robots, but you decide what that means for you. And it's about learning, and it's about working with the users you want to work with, the people you have connections to. So that's a bit of work you have to do this week.
But isn't it the people that will be at the library? Or
No.
Okay.
No.
So now we're just thinking for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying it out with the people that we can.
Yeah. The people you want to work with is your users.
Okay.
Yeah. So it might not be Simon's workplace this time, it might be your workplace. Or it might be a completely different place, or if you're focusing on particular users. Okay? Yeah? So we have questions, and you'll get these slides afterwards. We have questions for next week, which is the what if phase, and the week after, and there's all the questions there. So this is just kind of to guide you through what kinds of things you should be asking yourselves when you go through this process. All right? So I don't want to get too far ahead, because I think I just want to show you that there is a process here, and there are questions right up to the end. But I want to go back to where we are this week.
Well, just a few words to show the whole...
You want to see the whole thing again?
Just to say that. This includes the Doc 1 and the webinar as well.
Yeah.
So you're also there in the position where you try to find out what works.
Yeah, and also what didn't work.
Yeah.
Who needs this? Maybe you do something and you think that this works really well with your users, and some other people come along. That's what the group found last year. Some adults came along and they thought it was really exciting as well, and the group was going, oh, we didn't think that adults would like doing this. We never considered that adults would like to do this. But it was because they were playing with their children in that situation where they could play with their kids with a Sphero ball, and the kids were just as good as they were, or even better than they were. So it put them kind of on an even playing field, and the parents really liked that. So that was something they hadn't considered, that this would be a game for families to play. So that's the kind of thing that you have to let happen. And then making adjustments. Of course things have to be changed and adjusted. It would be really boring if you got it right first time. In fact, if you got it right first time, then why isn't everybody doing it? It's not an easy process, and it's something that needs to be worked at. Okay. So Klaus, do you have anything else to add? Nope. Okay. So that's me. Done. Any questions or comments?
It's not totally clear for me, maybe I'm just really tired, but now we find out, like if this did the 6 week, we find out what we're going to use with our people, kids, grown-ups, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when do we start thinking about Doc 1?
Well,
at some point you'll get to know that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I would say look at Doc 1 as being a place where you're going to showcase this. Right? So whatever, if you're working with eighth graders, or if you're working with kindergarten students or kids, or if you're working with handicapped people, that's fine. That's what you're working with right now. When you get to Doc 1, you'll be able to showcase what it is you're doing, and you'll bring some of your users to Doc 1. And maybe other people will come in and join in, and you'll think, wow, I never thought this would be something for them too. So it's just a place to showcase, bring it to the public.
I would say, obviously you have in your head that we're going down at Doc 1. That's why we showed you in the rooms. That's why we showed you Steve. And you had to heard what he has to say. But we want you to wait, not to decide yet what to do. So hold it a bit. Instead of running to conclusions, as we're talking about, just wait a little. Okay, we've got some possibilities, let's look for some more possibilities. And in that process, also look for what seems the most weird to you. It might be things that you might not use because you can't get access to it, or it's not happened yet, or whatever it is. But give yourself the opportunity to think freely. What if it was like this? What if we use this? So you get that feeling of that you can choose later. It's a relatively short process, so you're going to be forced to choose shortly, but just not now, at this very moment.
Okay, I think we can switch off.
Sorry, what?
Switch this off.
Okay.
The video, thank you.
Then we'll skip the other afterwards.